Do you have a specific memory that you can think of that you tie your whole like car life to?
Yeah, yeah. You want me to get deep?
Yep.
Okay. When I was growing up, I had plenty of anxiety issues and depression issues, and ended up living in a mental institution for a little while. And while I was there, they wanted me to have some kind of vision for what my future could be that was positive. So that question came up again. What are your dreams? What did you think about when you were a kid that would drive you to have a happy life someday? So answering that question for me then was frustrating, because when you're in a dark place like that, you don't want to think positively. So it was a rehearsed response for me to say, I want to be a race car driver, I guess, all angsty. And so that's what I said to the therapist in front of my parents in this group therapy session, basically. And that has been the drive for everything that I've done with this rally team in this car, in a real powerful way. And that's something that I can tap into any moment that I'm feeling desperate and tired or defeated building this or running the car or whatever. It's the drive behind everything that I do. This idea of becoming a race car driver is the vehicle that I took out of the darkest place that I've ever been. So for me, it is a very real big deal. Yeah. The important figures in my life who are authoritative would look at it that way and say, that's too much. Like, I mean, at least you're saying something that you want to do, but it's too much. That's crazy. At the same time, my best friend that I've known since kindergarten, Steven, who works on the team, he absolutely in every way believed in me. By the time we started doing this, he said to me that this was a foregone conclusion to him and that he hopes it sets me free, because this is what we've been working for so long. And he knew as well as I did this was going to happen, because I just won't give up.
This year I'm crew chief. I've been crew chief. I started as crew chief. I have also driven the car, and I've co-driven once. Jake's a really unique individual, someone who I really admire, because he is so frickin' driven. I mean, he is just, it's sort of crazy. It actually gets to crazy, crazy points. Like when we were building the rally car, the sacrifices that he's willing to make in order to get this thing done. But I don't know, it's something about his personality. I think he's sort of always been that way, that when he's just very genuine, and he's, when he knows that he wants something or wants to do something, he's just going to get it done. He's going to find a way.
In 2007, Steven and I went to our first rally event, which was SnoDrift, and is now our favorite event. We go to it every year. We haven't missed one.
I think it was 2007. It's middle of winter, and I tell Jake, I'm like, hey man, there's this rally, and it's only like 3 hours away. We should go to this. Let's just go to this thing. We'll sleep in the car. I'll never forget that first moment where you're walking down the road. At SnoDrift or at most rallies, you park and then you walk, a mile or some cases longer to get to the actual spectator point. And so we're walking, and you can hear cars going by, and we sort of come around this clearing, and you can see like the gap in the road where these cars are just flying by. And I'll never forget that moment where you're like, holy shit, this is really cool. That first SnoDrift that we went to, that really sort of planted the seed.
After Steven and I went there for the first time together, just eating hot dogs, trying to sleep on the floor of a car, we started making friends doing this racing stuff, and started renting out this house that we still rent today, years later, more than a decade later.
And so then it's just, you're going up to this event, you love watching, you love spectating, you love the event for what it is, but then you also love going to the event, so you have these opportunities to drive on these amazing roads in the snow, to hang out with your friends, get drunk in the cabin, whatever. So it became this thing that was just, SnoDrift became this thing that was bigger than the rally, right? It was this huge event for us and our friends, and it's really important to us.
One morning, I woke up to start watching the race cars go again in the morning. I left my coat back at the house. I don't know why. It might have been an accident. I might have just been stupid and belligerent and an idiot. But I'm out there. It was 20-something degrees.
So we're sitting there and we're just freezing our asses off, right? And it's quiet. People are just mulling around waiting for the action to start. And someone had asked Jake, aren't you cold?
This is SnoDrift and you're not even wearing a coat. What are you doing? And I just looked down from this pile of snow that I had kicked up so I can get a good view.
And he's like just immediately and confidently replied, no. My fervor for the sport keeps me warm.
And I honestly meant it, and it does. It did. I just don't care that I'm cold standing out there without a coat on because I'm so amped.
And that's who Jake is, right? He lets his passions guide him. And that was what he was saying there. Yeah.
This fervor that I had enough not to wear a coat was everyone's, and it's what our team is built on. Yeah, so that's where it came from. We decided initially that we were going to start doing this because I was driving really fast at Rallycross, and I was just dying inside for more. We needed to get on stage. Derek always wanted to co-drive, which is just like a perfect recipe for what we needed to do.
Yeah, you have to have a co-driver. You'll never be competitive without a co-driver and without a good co-driver. Being a co-driver, you get the best seat in the house.
He just believed so much in my driving and that if we could get this thing together that I think we would do well.
Yeah, we just kind of, what started with a joke kind of became, why not? Why not do it, you know?
So when we decided that we were going to build this car, Derek and I had this mantra that we were going to quit screwing around. That's what we kept on saying. We've got to stop screwing around with rallycross and autocross and just totally focus.
It's sort of a risk, right? Well, we're going to spend all this money on these tools, a bender, a notcher, all this money on materials, and we're just going to try this, and maybe we're going to screw it up, but maybe we won't, and we'll just learn. We'll learn as we go.
Derek and I bought this car from a friend for $300 with no engine and no transmission, no nothing inside.
We spent a lot of time in the garage, basically every day after work.
Neither of us had ever built a car like this before. So from start to finish, when we finished the car in 2016, just before SnoDrift, it took us 4 years to actually assemble this car, to build the cage, to do all of the fab work, which we did everything.
Most people who, even if they build their own car, they'll pay someone else to do the cage, or they'll pay someone else to do something with it, right? Whereas, we did everything, and we're super proud of that.
Just totally normal people with regular jobs, not making a lot of money. So what this meant for me and for my family was we're all eating hot dogs for 4 years. This is hard to overstate how completely focused I was on getting this thing done. And there it was right on the other side of the wall. I could always go out there and just do work on it. So every waking moment, Derek was over. Steven was over. We're just building the car nonstop for 4 years.
There were, a few tense moments here and there, as there will be working in confined spaces with each other.
We're spending all of our money and all of our time. If we could actually agree on something that we were doing,
then we determined that makes it a fact. So if we agreed, then yeah, it was done. We do it that way.
Because most of the time we weren't agreeing. Derek would agree that we weren't agreeing.
Even just getting the car to the first event, getting it built, getting it logbooked, that was a huge accomplishment and a huge milestone.
Right now, today, we're just tearing the car down to make sure that everything that we need to have ready for the event is actually ready for the event. So we took the gas tank down to fix an issue with the fuel venting. We've been getting a fuel smell lately, especially when the car's parked and we can't be having fuel leaks or whatever it might be. So the fuel tank has come down. We're going to reroute some lines there. We took the engine out because the engine that we have in the car right now was a 130,000 mile just random engine out of a junk car that we have been running now for 4 years at wide open throttle most of the time. So it deserves to stop. running these events, so we have a different engine that we're putting in, but the engine that we're going to put in is slightly different, so we're running into issues with what basically the wiring is not going to plug in. So now we're going to have to tear the engine apart to change some parts so that the wiring will work with the engine that we're going to replace with. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. Oh no, this is completely fine. If we had all the stuff that we needed and we didn't have to wait for the mail, we could probably finish this today. Because we have a lot of people who have a lot of experience, so it's not hard to just slap everything back together again. So we'll move forward next weekend with trying to put the engine in, I think is what we'll do.
Let's shove it over there while it's not sky high.
Well, let's just turn it on then, I guess.
All right, everybody good?
Good.
Working on cars and driving cars, they really go hand in hand. And I feel that working on the car or building this car that you're going to be driving, you know, you just have so much greater appreciation for it. Build it, race it, break it, repeat. I mean, that's really what it is.
SnoDrift is a rally race event that happens in a 25 square mile area.
SnoDrift is possibly the most challenging car racing event in North America.
It's the only snow and ice event, which is the name of the game at SnoDrift is snow and ice. We have free reign of sections of road where we might race through the woods on snow and ice for 6 miles, and then we transit to the start of the next stage at regular road speeds, just on regular roads, and then we might race for 10 miles on a completely new section of road. It's the only snow event in the country for this level of racing.
You're racing regular cars, in our case one that we built ourselves, as fast as you can, down narrow snow and ice covered roads in the middle of, you know, rural Michigan.
This is, to me, the most special rally because we've spectated it the most, and we know the atmosphere in the crowd is just so wonderful. Everyone is out there trying to stay warm together, lighting fires up, and everybody's out in the woods drinking and just having a great time. And the people that SnoDrift can bring out are the hardiest of fans, so it's just a really great atmosphere. The small group of people who put on SnoDrift every year are just an incredible group of people who have been doing this for years and years and slowly are passing the torch from one person to another so that we can all enjoy this. Our team and the entire rally community owes a huge debt of gratitude to those people who are pressing on with this all the time.
Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi.
For the record, we're at stage start of the first stage, about to start recce. Taylor just threw up twice outside because he's so scared.
No, I didn't.
So this year is really different. One reason why it's different is we're ready way ahead of where we usually are. Usually we're kind of waiting until the last minute for things. It's also different this year because although Taylor was on the team with us last year doing crew, Taylor is now driving this year, so that's new. We've got a new driver. And Jake is co-driving. Jake's co-driven plenty before, but he's never co-driven in this car for our team, so that's new.
So it's going to be clear. So all we need to know here is that there's jump 70, jump 120, crest 120. Now we're looking at 350, and I'll be pointing because up there at the end of this, most likely, is visible double caution crest down, and I can say the words visible if it is.
Okay.
So there's our finish, our flying finish stake is right here. And the stage is over. I was thinking this year that there's not really a lot of likelihood of me doing a heck of a lot better than I did last year with this engine and this suspension, which is very weak. So wouldn't it be great to share the experience with someone who has never done this before? And Taylor crewed for us last year, his first time crewing on a rally team at all.
He is, he sort of perfectly embodies what our team's all about. He's super passionate about cars, about Subarus, about rallying. So
He seems to know what he's doing. He's a fantastic driver.
To see him as a young driver progress really quickly is pretty incredible. I've seen him at Rallycross perform very well. He's very composed, and he's also very knowledgeable. He's one of the most talented Subaru technicians I know of.
The kid just has so much promise, and he, in every way that I can think of, exemplifies what this team has been doing. So I threw out an invitation to him, and he, in his Taylor calm way, decided.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't even know how this is a thing right now. Seeing my name on that window it's incredible.
Left 5 minus, then 50 long crest, then right 6. This is right 6, then 200 over finish. Right 6, 200 over finish. Go, 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 go. Then 70 small crest, then 20. Yes! Oh, fuck! Oh, God. I knew this was gonna fucking...
I know, I was fighting back tears since that first fight.
Dude, great fucking drive, man. Great drive.
So last year we had our best finish ever. The driving was pretty comfortable. We didn't have many incidents.
being able to be in the car with Jake, with my best friend, not only was it really great to finish a rally with him and do the whole event together, but to come in 5th place overall, 3rd or 2nd in class. We didn't get ranked because we weren't a national entry, but we posted the 5th fastest time for the rally and finished 2nd in our class in a car that we built in Jake's garage. So that was a huge milestone. I drove once. It's terrifying. It really is. Nothing prepares you for it, right? So I've done a ton of autocross, and the longest autocross course is a minute and a half. So now you're in a car and you have to concentrate on driving fast for at least probably 5 minutes.
The time I was the most nervous was exiting the first park expose to get onto the public road and to go to the first stage start.
Right for about 2 miles.
I don't even recall saying anything to Jake, on the way to the first stage start, just so much going through my head. And then, we pulled up to the first stage in a line of cars, and I'm just sitting there thinking, well, this is about to happen.
I wish there was a more precise word to use to describe what it's like to pull up for the first time and you're about to start, other than just totally overwhelmed. It's too much. You're just totally flooded. And you've got to rely on what brought you there. Like, you know, people have got your back. If you mess this up, the car gets damaged, there are people there that are going to help you. You also know what to do as a driver. Surely if you're driving a stage rally, it's not usually the first time that you've driven a car really fast. You have to rely on the fact that the time that you've put in doing smaller things is going to mean something. And you're fully invested and you're completely banking on it, because what else are you going to do? We're about to start. It doesn't matter anymore.
Hey, man.
Hello.
Yep, neck restraint check. Make sure you're connected up both sides. Yep. Make sure you're tight with your belts. Chin strap on good.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Come on. Got down at 59.
Awesome. Thank you.
Pretty much we just pull up. Jake said 30 seconds, and we both just pretty much lasered right in.
Yeah, you just sort of start doing it. I mean, that's kind of been our motto with a lot of things. You know, you don't know how to do something until you go do it. And you don't know how to drive in a stage rally until you go do it, so.
And we have start 30, you're going to have a right floor. 3, 2, 1, go. 30, rest 30, then right floor down, tightens.
The instant I launched and hit second gear and was going, was like, I'm actually doing this. This is pretty awesome.
This opens and tightens to 5 minus and start. 70, then right 4 plus. Right 5 minus 50.
Yeah.
Then left.
But yeah, like Steven said, like getting to the end of the stage, that was a whole nother thing. Honestly,
talk about that.
every damn stage you pull up to, it was just like a different. It just for me, it was just a different feeling, you know. Like you're getting further into this, you're doing it more, you're becoming more comfortable, you're feeling more confident, and then you go off.
Opens. Small crest 50. Get it. Nice. Reverse. We're hung up. Get out, or the GTFO, and reverse. Less. Shit, I think we're getting triangles. Try a lot less throttle, but I don't think we're going anywhere. Won't go forward either, right? No. Alright, we're good. Let me get triangles out on the road.
It was a left 3, I believe, which is it's not sharp, but you know, you generally have to obviously slow down for that. And started to slide. Well, sliding gave it way more throttle. That way it relocks the front and will pull the front back straight. Well, when doing that, I was on the inside and it pulled my front tires onto some fresh snow and gained a ton of grip, got traction, got grip, and just shot us straight onto the inside berm. Super deep, you know, packed snow, plowed snow. So it just sucked you right in, piled all up underneath the center of the car. And
Oh, dude, I'm trapped. Can you get out? Crap. Yeah, you're gonna have to grab triangles and I'll follow you out. Just go as quickly as you can and stay off the road.
And there we sat for 15, 16 minutes. So. It did knock my confidence, that's for sure. But you know, luckily the off was towards the end of the stage, so I got back on the stage, you know, after getting pulled out, kept driving, everything was fine, and pretty much just told myself I had no intentions of coming here to do well or podium or be fast. This was just something that I had wanted to do forever. So here I am, I'm gonna make the most of it.
The great thing about a 2-day rally is you wake up the next morning and everything feels better. The sun is out, you can see, and there's just a huge weight lifted off your shoulders in the first place. On a 2-day rally where you went off the night before, it is just this revelation feeling like everything is gonna be okay.
Yeah, so the first night, obviously the guys had an off, and you kind of worry about that kind of stuff when you're on crew, because that could, if something got broken, it could mean a really long night for you. But luckily for us, there was really nothing wrong with the car. We put it up, when we got back to the house, we put it up in the air, get the wheels and tires off, just check everything over. Sometimes maybe drop the skid plates down and just make sure that nothing's stuck up underneath. And yeah, it was really easy. I think a lot of it is because we spent so much time prepping the car ahead of time that it was just ready, and we didn't have to do much the whole weekend. So that was a relatively early night as far as Friday nights go at rallies. So we were happy. I think we were in the house by 10:30, 11, and got something to eat and drink, so that was good.
Good morning.
Out at minute 29.
Okay.
Good luck and have fun, and then we'll just wait for the minute.
Awesome. Thank you. So we'll wait for 29, she says. Okay. Take a right.
Obvious that all of the things that are great about a second day were impacting Taylor in a positive way, because he just got right back out there and he felt like the same guy that he was when we were in the heat of it and everything was going well the day before. So
in rally, you're allowed a period of time, usually once or twice a day, to bring the car in and have it serviced. So ideally the car comes in and there's been no major damage or crashes or anything. So the first priority is to get the car up in the air, get the wheels off, and start checking things over. Everyone on the crew will be assigned to like a corner of the car. Once the wheels and tires are off, you kind of go over that corner of the car, you shake everything down really good, make sure nothing's loose. You're looking at everything using your eyes, trying to use all your senses. Are you hearing anything that's out of whack? Are you feeling or seeing anything that's out of whack? You have time to not only attend to the car, but attend to the crew in the car, right? Attend to the driver and co-driver, because a lot of times they're coming in and they might be pumped up on adrenaline or whatever, and maybe they're not thinking so much about what they need. So I like to try to make sure to ask them, do you guys need anything extra in the car? Do you have water? Do you have stuff to drink? That kind of stuff. A good service crew, ideally has, a good rapport, a good team equity, and in our case, we have that. We've got a really good group of people, friends that that know each other. We know our skills, we know our our strengths and our weaknesses, and we really know how to complement each other. Everyone knows what they need to do, and they know how to do it. But yeah, a good service. Hopefully, car's not broken. We quickly go through everything and end early.
What does bonfire mean to you?
Man, literally just hearing you ask that question like gives me an adrenaline rush just thinking about it because it is so meaningful, but it's hard to say why. Bonfire Alley, for the spectators, it's the party to cap the whole weekend. So everybody's having a blast, and that's how I grew up falling in love with rally, is being part of that atmosphere on Bonfire Alley. You start out just thinking to yourself, like, we made it this far, we've got to get to the finish. And now at this point, you're actually seeing it. It's actually starting to feel like an accomplishment instead of this overwhelming thing that just won't end. So it's an overwhelmingly emotional experience because it's starting to hit you right as you begin that, wow, we did this. But hold on, I'm not done yet. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Start 180, left 5 over 180, which tightens over a small crest. Feel this out, we haven't been on it yet today. Coming around the right-hand corner right before the left hairpin, you stop wondering, is this it? Is this the spectator corner? Just try to think about the notes in the corners, ignore these people. 100, right 5 minus, then 100, then we have caution brake, turn left 2 minus. So here's 100, then caution braking, turn left 2 minus. This is the corner. That corner is so incredibly important to me because I've watched all of my rallyist heroes drive through that intersection with all of the might of the rally fans behind them, with fires raging and everybody screaming. And as a driver, when you arrive there, it isn't just for you anymore, it's a celebration with everyone, and we've arrived there together. Then caution braking, turn left 2 minus. This is the corner. Turn left 2 minus. So there's a huge focus there to feel the excitement with the crowd and to feel the heat of the fires through the glass. And you want to let it in, but you've also got to get around that corner and not crash the car. Hell yeah.
So yeah, after the last stage of the day, they're not done yet, right? They finished the last finish time control, but they haven't actually finished the rally until they make it back to the last main time control, which at SnoDrift is in Hillman at the community center.
Dude that's saying stuff at least. Be a little more clear maybe? Are we parking here or what? Sounds good. Whatever. Congratulations, dude. Holy shit. We did it.
The crew heads back to the community center to where the last time control is, and it's kind of cool to be able to sit there and watch the car come in and finish, especially for Taylor. This time his first finish. But yeah, you're like ready to celebrate. You're ready to have a beer and have something to eat and just relax. It's a lot like the guys in the car. It's this big sense of relief where a big weight off your shoulders. Your responsibility is done for the weekend, and you can just enjoy Saturday night and party.
Arriving at the award ceremony, you're just so drained that almost I feel like I shouldn't say this, but you're almost just going through the motions at that point. Like just being honest, the highlight of the event is after that, when you get back home and see all your friends there waiting for you, which, to be honest, for me has become, I think, the highlight of the weekend above all else. All of the exertion that you had just given in the car for the 2 days leading up to that moment, you know that those people are so stoked for you, and you realize and you start to feel on your way back to the house that this is just bigger than you. It's all these people. It's important to all of them. And when you get there, you can rest assured that everyone is going to congratulate you, and you're just going to wish there was some way you could just give it back.
Taylor, you got some ravioli to eat, buddy.
Yeah, big can.
Yeah, stomach that.
It's not optional. About that tradition.
Oh yeah.
You gotta eat the big can.
When Steven and I went up to SnoDrift for our first time in 2007, I had absolutely no money. We also didn't plan very well at all for what we were about to do. We went off to the store to just buy something that we could eat while we were going to be gone for a few days up north, and ended up with cold hot dogs and ravioli in cans with no way to heat anything up, and that was just fine, whatever, we were going to go. So every year, ever since, we've enjoyed ourselves plenty of ravioli straight out of the can, cold, every year since. As years went by, we would collect broken parts off of rally cars that came through. I remember one year, Ken Block smashed into a tree. I ran down and picked up a piece of his broken bumper, and that was, I think, the beginning of the tradition of eating ravioli off of a broken car part. And we would use them as utensils and whatever. Any little thing we could get off of a rally car, we're going to eat with it, because it fed into the idea that, this fervor idea that rallies will sustain us. And ravioli became the staple of that. So for everyone that comes up there, they're encouraged to eat ravioli. But if you're going to drive my car, you're going to eat some ravioli.
And so, Taylor, I hope that you understand that this is not just some hazing or some stupid thing that we do. It's a little bit of that, but it is also absolutely a distinct honor for us to feed you this off of our race car that you broke so kindly. But also for you to enjoy this ravioli.
I didn't really break it.
Any last? Yeah, that's the thing. You didn't break a whole lot, so that's the only thing that's cracked. And that's just it. So you did break it. You have to lay in the bed that you make, and this is.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna empty 2 cans under there, and then however much make it. No, it's not gonna work out.
Right on my forehead.
Up here. Up here.
Look at his eyes. There you go.
All right, Derek.
This feels like hazing.
Get in there.
All up my nose.
For the future of Fervor, I think that we could be very competitive. I think that there are a few things that need to happen before that point, namely a faster engine. If we can get that in the car, I think we could compete completely and probably bring home a pretty high podium for a national event.
I don't know. I'm not sure if we would want to or feel compelled to try to do a national championship. Maybe we would. You know, for us, it's more about enjoying the sport and enjoying your friendships and enjoying driving. So obviously, I mean, you could do all that stuff while going for a national championship, but I think, you know, we're just super happy to go to our favorite events and do rallying as friends.
Fervor Rally Sport, as an entity, it's hard to imagine this dying. The same mystery and romance that we had for rally racing in the very beginning is very alive in all of us right now. I think that in order for us to continue in a meaningful way, the car is going to need more power. And I think that it also is going to need better than $200 leaking suspension. So those are the things that are on my mind moving forward with Fervor. I want to go fast. I would like to try for a national championship and just see what happens in the same way that we just went out and saw what we could do in the first place. I would be remiss if I didn't fully fling myself at what we're doing here with a national championship attempt.
You know, it was just felt so good that it was over.
You want to do it again?
Do I want to do it again? Well, hell yeah, I want to do it again. I've already started building my own car.
You want a drink? I just want to, we've done this in the past. We're famous for our toasts. And I want to just take a small amount of time to just say a few words and say, Taylor, first of all, congratulations on your first stage rally finish. We know from doing this for a few years that just even getting to the end is no small feat. And honestly, I've been saying, this is like the easiest rally we've had for service. The car was not broken in any fucking way. It was just, clean the thing up, check some bolts, send you guys away. And I think a lot of that comes down to the preparation that we had. We spent so much time this year preparing. This is, I think, the most we've been prepared for any rally that we've ever entered. A lot of that comes down to the hoe barn. I'm super glad that Taylor joined the team, and when we got Taylor, we also got the rest of the Hoganars. Ethan, thank you for joining crew wherever you are. You were super good this weekend. Absolutely could not have done any of this without you and your contribution, so thank you. And Mike, Heidi, thank you for letting us invade your space for the last 2 months.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
And then the hoe barn rally, that name's sticking.
Is it? You tried to put it on the shirt. I'm like, no, you're not putting it on the shirt. We got some explaining to do.
For letting us make the hoe barn rally headquarters for the last 2 months, every weekend, whatever it's been. Yeah, this is one of the best SnoDrifts we've had, and just want to say thank you. So congratulations to everyone. Thank you, team. Thank you, everyone. Jake.
Thank you, Steven.
Yeah, thank you.
Hammer Claw!
Woo! Let's drink some champagne.
Spray it.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
It's too late for that.
No.
I did spray it. Get it.
Oh, wow.
Here I goes, kid.
Put it in sport mode!